This guy finds a pair of size 11 red high heels on the shelf, and for some reason, he put them on. The next second, boom, he turns into a full-on drag queen. The sight is so spicy it almost burns his own eyes. Curious, he tries on another pair. Bam! Now he's a black dude. Swapped shoes again. Now he's a wrinkly old man. But when he puts on a pair that belonged to someone dead, he nearly has a heart attack on the spot.
He's dead! He's dead! He's dead!
Our shape-shifting hero's name? Max. Just yesterday, he was a total corporate slave cobbler, fixing shoes for 20 years, single for 30, dad mysteriously vanished 2 decades ago, and mom lying bedridden and on the brink. Every day, he repeats the same grind, fixing shoes while watching customers like Jack roll up in sports cars with supermodels on their arm. Max can't help but think, why couldn't my dad be Elon Musk? Not only did he not leave him money, he left him stuck with this rundown little shoe shop. But what Max doesn't know is, his dad didn't leave behind money. He left something even crazier, a magical sewing machine that could flip his whole fate upside down. One day, a flashy guy named Ludlow drops off a pair of shoes. While flexing his luxury watch, he says, "This watch could buy 3 of your stores. If those shoes aren't fixed tonight, don't even bother locking up." Max doesn't want his shop smashed up, so he stays late to fix them. But the modern sewing machine starts sparking like crazy and dies. In a panic, Max goes to the basement and finds the old sewing machine his dad left behind. He uses it, finishes the shoes, and out of pure curiosity, tries them on. And holy crap, he turns into Ludlow. Like, identical, gold teeth and all. He switches into a random pair of normal shoes. Nothing happened. That's when it hits him. If a shoe was fixed using that vintage machine, whoever wears it can instantly transform into the original owner. Max freaks out like he just won the lottery. So what does he do? Starts mass repairing shoes just to try on different people's lives. And with that, Max stepped through the door into a whole new world. One day, he puts on a Chinese guy's shoes and turns into him. Next thing you know, he's out in the park doing Tai Chi with the elders. Then he rocks a pair of kicks from a black dude, goes to a fancy restaurant, orders the most expensive dishes, then sneaks into the bathroom, switches shoes, and dips without paying. The restaurant manager's still outside waiting for the customer to come back and settle the check. But those little tricks stop being enough. One night, Max sees Jack's supermodel girlfriend and gets ideas, creepy ideas. So he puts on Jack's shoes and sneaks into her apartment. She's in the shower and calls for Jack to come wash her hair. Max gets all hyped, starts unzipping his pants, then suddenly remembers he's still wearing the magical transformation shoes. One step out of them, and boom, identity exposed. So he panics, yanks his pants back up, and runs out like a scared raccoon. Max lives countless different lives, but in the end, he always has to return home to care for his frail mother in a wheelchair. Her days are numbered, and Max wants to fulfill her final wish. But all she wants is to have dinner with her long-lost husband one last time. There's just one tiny issue. Max's dad has been missing for over 20 years. No one even knows if he's alive. Staring at his mom's pale face, Max makes a bold decision. He pulls out his father's old shoes, slips them on, and transforms into his dad. That evening, his mother, dressed to the nines, sees her husband walk through the door in a suit. Her eyes light up. They have a romantic candlelit dinner, even dance to their favorite old tune, like those 20 years of separation never happened. The next morning, Max goes to wake his mom, but she's already passed peacefully in her sleep, with a smile on her face. After the funeral, Max returns to the shop. That's when Ludlow storms in, fuming about the shoes he never picked up. Turns out he came back. Max was gone, and he's been pissed ever since. Max lies, and says he was busy with his mom's funeral, but Ludlow doesn't believe him. He curses Max out, and Max snaps, refuses to return the shoes, claiming there's no receipt. Ludlow leaves with a threat. "If my shoes aren't here tomorrow, your store won't be either." Max remembers Ludlow bragging, "This watch alone could buy 3 stores. My house, a full set." With funeral bills stacking up, Max decides, screw it, let's go after Ludlow. He packs different shoes in his bag and starts tailing Ludlow in various disguises. Turns out, the guy's a loan shark running a legal collection. Max feels way less guilty about stealing from him now. So, Max slips on Ludlow's shoes, sneaks into his house, and starts looking for loot. He ends up finding a crate of weapons. Curious, he picks up a stun baton and gives it a try. Accidentally shocks himself and passes out. 2 hours later, he wakes up. In a panic, he tries to flee, but walks straight into the real Ludlow. They fight. Max manages to grab the stun baton again and zaps him unconscious. Then, dressed as another random dude, he interrogates Ludlow. Ludlow keeps his mouth shut until Max switches shoes and turns into a drag queen again. Ludlow freaks out and immediately spills the tea. The stash is hidden behind the bathroom mirror. Max finds a whole row of luxury watches and is about to bounce when Ludlow's thugs come back. Max overhears them planning to collect $50,000 from a shady real estate developer named Elaine. So Max decides, fine, let's keep cosplaying as Ludlow and go meet this Elaine lady. Turns out Elaine is trying to redevelop a historic street, but one old man, Solomon, refuses to move. She wants Ludlow to take care of it. Max pockets the $50,000 and thinks, well, if this fails, Ludlow's taking the heat anyway. Back home, Max opens the door, and there's Ludlow with a gun, ready to kill him. They scuffle. Max kicks off the heels mid-fight and transforms back into himself. Ludlow freezes, totally confused. Max seizes the moment, throws a shoe, and Bullseye accidentally stabs Ludlow's neck with a stiletto heel, killing him. Shocked and guilty, Max goes to the cops to turn himself in, but when they check the house, no body, no blood, nothing. The place is spotless. The cops leave, calling Max a psycho. Even weirder, when Max returns to the shop, the high heels and the bag of luxury watches are sitting neatly on the counter like nothing ever happened. Trying to make things right, Max puts on the drag heels and plans to return the money to Elaine. But just as he steps out, his neighbor, the barber, stops him. The barber scolds him for disappearing, neglecting the shop, and acting just like his father before he vanished. He warns Max not to follow the same path, but Max is determined. Then, bam! Someone knocks him out cold. He wakes up in the backseat of a car. Two guys up front are plotting to kill him and set Solomon's house on fire. Thinking fast, Max puts on the dead man's shoes and transforms into a terrifying ghost, scaring them out of their mind. Back at the shop, Max packs up the sewing machine. He wants to end this madness, but then he sees a flyer and remembers Elaine's guys still plan to torch Solomon's place. Max decides to fight back. He finds Solomon and learns the old man just wants to move to Chicago to live with his daughter. So Max puts on Solomon's shoes and meets with Elaine. Give me $100,000 and a one-way ticket to Chicago, and I'll move out tomorrow. She agrees. That night, her men deliver the money and the ticket. Solomon politely asks them to remove their shoes before entering. When they leave, poof, the shoes are gone. Max quickly repairs those two pairs, puts them on, and impersonates both thugs. He sets up a fake kidnapping, zaps them with a stun baton, and ties them up because he knows Elaine's not letting the old man leave town alive. The next morning, Elaine sends men to the train station and also shows up at Solomon's place. But when she opens the door, Solomon is sitting right there. She snaps and threatens to kill him. Then, boom, a journalist jumps out with a camera, capturing everything on video. Elaine's done. The law's coming for her. But wait, there's more. Max, still disguised as Ludlow, tries to donate the stolen money, but gets jumped by Ludlow's enemies and thrown into a car. Just as it looks like curtains for Max, boom, the barber shows up and rescues him. Max is stunned. Then the barber takes off his shoes. Plot twist. He's Max's long-lost dad. Turns out, he's been living next door this whole time, using the shoes to stay in disguise. He's the one who took care of Ludlow's body, protected Max, and kept watch over the family as Sam the barber. He brings Max down to the basement and reveals the family's legacy. Dozens of magical shoes, each once worn by legends, baseball prodigies, soccer stars, famous singers. With these shoes, Max can become anyone he wants. Oh, and surprise, his dad's actually super rich. The movie is called The Cobbler, and just like shoes, life isn't one size fits all. Only you know what truly fits. The Cobbler isn't just about changing faces. It's about finding the courage to become who you're meant to be, one pair of shoes at a time. If this hit you in the feels, or just made you laugh, make sure to subscribe to DoXi Recap, where we break down movies with heart, humor, and a sprinkle of chaos.